and welcome. Today I want to run you through some warm-up exercises before you work out so you won't have any unnecessary soreness or cause any injuries when you do actually start working out. I'm only going to run through a couple of iterations or a couple of exercises. I won't do the full exercise, but keep in mind it should take you about 15 minutes to run through all these exercises, and I'll give a recommended quantity of how many of each exercise you should be doing. So the first exercise to get the blood flowing would be the jumping jack. Sometimes it's called the side straddle hop, but everybody pretty much knows it as the jumping jack. So basically you start with your feet together, hands down to your side, and you're going to jump and put your feet about 1.5 shoulder widths apart. You know, it's not necessary to go very far, just enough to give you some movement and raise your center of gravity to get the blood flowing. And you want to touch your hands over your head. You don't have to keep your hands straight. Some people will keep their hands bent like this, and then down, and that's 1. So I'll do about 2 of these. I recommend either 50 for beginners or 100 for more advanced martial artists. So I'll just do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is the jumping jack or the side straddle hop. So after that, you want to kind of shake your arms around, right? Loosen up your joints. And just get the blood flowing again. Next would be to rotate your head. Believe it or not, if you don't rotate your neck and get your neck muscles moving around, you can experience a little bit of soreness if you're not used to working out. So I just rotate the head, right, and then turn back around. So I recommend about 10 each way. And I like to work from the top down, so start with the neck. Next is the shoulders, so you want to rotate your arms, right, about 10 in this direction, and then 10 going forward. And then you want to swing your arms front to back, low, high. Some people can get their arms a little bit further behind them. That works the shoulder muscles and the rotator cuff. Next is going to be out to your elbows. Your elbows next. This doesn't feel like it takes a lot of effort, and it's good if you don't have soreness, but believe me, if you don't lubricate these joints, there's a good likeliness that you'll feel it later. So probably 10 in each direction, right, in each arm. Moving out to your wrists, your hands, fingers, wrists. So first exercise is just to kind of put gentle pressure back on your wrist, on the tip of your fingers to stretch the wrist, right, on both arms. Probably about a 10 count. And then what you want to do is you want to hold your hand facing you, put your other thumb here, and then you just want to put gentle pressure to bend the wrist back this way. It shouldn't hurt, but you should feel some pressure. And then just kind of shake them out, right? Some people will kind of make fists and it'll pop some knuckles. Other people might rub their hands just to get their hands to warm up, depending on if it's cool inside the dojang or not. Another exercise again, going down to your deltoids. You want to raise your arms up, grab one arm with the other arm, and pull yourself this way. You should feel a stretch here, and of course the other side. Now working down to the center of the body, you want to put your hands on your hips or not, but stand about shoulder width apart, and then just rotate your hips. This looks kind of silly, but I tell you, it makes a big difference. I've been doing this for about 5 years, and when I did it the first time, my hip joints would actually like click. But now I've either worn down whatever it was that was clicking, or just loosen up the hip joint to where it doesn't click anymore. But yeah, you want to keep the top of your body as stationary as possible. Don't Don't rotate the upper body. You just want to rotate the hip like this, and then 10 rotations on the bottom. Again, moving down from top to bottom, you're going to go to your knees. So you put your knees together, and you can brace yourself with your hands, and just flex your knee down, up, move left, move right, go around in a circle one direction, and go around in a circle in the other direction. You know, do five of each sets. You know, rotate 5 direct ways. Rotate 5 times in one direction, rotate 5 times in another direction, and then, you know, 5 dips just to get your knees moving. And then down to the feet. So you want to put your feet back and bend your toes, right, like that. Same thing on the other side. Hold that for about a 10 count, and then you want to flatten your toes out and bend your foot forward like that. Another 10 count. And then bend your foot inside. Again, these shouldn't hurt. These stretches shouldn't hurt, but you should feel some pressure on them. Okay? So now what you want to do is what's called a knee squat. So feet shoulder width apart, and bend down and go all the way down as far as you can. I'm going to bring the camera down so you can see what's going down on as I do more floor work. All right, so what you want to do is almost like a frog stance, so to speak, but you want to keep your feet flat on the ground here, and just hold that for about a 10 or 20 count. Okay, and that works the hip joints, it works the knee joints, it works the ankle joints. So this does a lot to stretch you out. Okay, now from here we're going to do a side stretch. So you can stand up, and you're going to keep this foot pointing forward of you, and then you're going to put this foot kind of to the side of you, and then you're going to stretch forward, right? And you're going to keep this leg straight, and you should feel the stretch under here. So hold that for about a 10 count, and then switch places. All right? So you should feel the stretch right here, right? And then you can switch back. Now you want to keep the back foot pointed sideways to the side of you, both feet pointed in the same direction, and move forward and lean forward as far as you can. And you should feel the burn in your I don't know what this part is called, your hamstring. Right? Do that there, and then turn around. Do the other side, again for a 10 count. And now while you're up, what you want to do is stretch out as far as possible, and lean forward and touch the ground in front of you. You can do fists, or you can put your hands down. More advanced athletes or martial artists can go down to their elbows, right? And then from there, hold that for a 10 count, and then you're going to lean over to your right, try to grab your ankle, keep your legs straight, do that for a 10 count, move over to the other side for a 10 count. So from here, what you can do is kind of scooch in a little bit and do what's called a taekwondo stretch. I don't know what the real name for it is, but basically bend down on one leg and lift your feet straight up in the air, and you should feel the burn under here. So it's kind of like the side stretch, but instead of on the inside, it's the underside of your leg. So then scooch over to the other side, and if you can, you want to keep this foot flat. I'm not that flexible, but I try. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to stretch your feet as far as you can sideways. Some people are more flexible than others. They can do a full side stretch. I cannot because I'm old. So from here, you want to reach behind you, right, and gently sit back. And keep your feet spread as far as you can. And then you want to try to reach for your ankles and pull yourself forward, pull your head forward. There's competing ideologies on whether you should bounce, right? Some people bounce like this. Some people say don't do that, that'll rip your muscles. Some of the old timers will say, well, I've done that all my life, it's never bothered me. So it just depends on your comfort level. If it hurts when you bounce, don't do it. But, you know, just bend forward until you feel the stretch on the inside of your thighs. Okay, do that for about 10, 15 count. And again, move over to your right. Try to grab the bottom of your feet, right? Hold that for 10. Go to the other side. Hold that for 10 or 15, whatever you're comfortable with. Now bring your legs in and do what's called the butterfly stretch. It's important to keep your back straight. Don't bend over. Keep your back straight. And some people will flap their legs, right, for a butterfly stretch. More advanced athletes will have a partner step on their knees to push their legs down, and what that does, it spreads your hip down so you can get those difficult kicks. But if you're just by yourself, you can just flap your knees like this to give you some flexibility. And then from there, you can put one foot in front of you, keep one foot bent, reach out and grab your feet. Hold that for a 10, 15 count. And then switch sides. Okay? And then from here, while you're here, you might as well bring your other leg over the straight leg, and you can rotate your ankle, give you a little more mobility and warming up of your joints here. Switch sides. Okay. Another good stretch, you see baseball players do this a lot. They'll put one leg over and they'll try to turn. Okay. And then they'll switch and do that. And that you'll feel that in the lower back. Well, now that you're on the ground, let's do the crunches. You want to lay on your back with your legs up. You can cross your legs or keep them straight. And you want to either put your hands on your chest or behind your head. And the object is to get your shoulder blades off the ground. So with your hands on your chest, you can go up, down, right? Or behind your head, up. And for beginners, I recommend about 50 crunches. For more advanced athletes, I'd say 100. And you should be able to feel the burn in your upper upper abs. When you're done, put your arms over your head, and stretch it out, and it should feel really good to stretch out your abs. And then from there, you want to put one leg over the other leg to stretch your hip, and then do the other side. Okay. Try to keep your shoulders on the ground. You can bend your leg or keep it straight, whatever you want to do. Now, you want to roll over to your stomach. And from here, you want to bend your body up, hold it for 5 count, and then down, and then up again, and then down, and then one more. 3 should do it. Now, from here, you want to go into a push-up position. You can either do tricep push-ups with your fist or with your palm straight or flat on the ground. I recommend knuckle push-ups because that will help with your punching strength. And I'm going to do tricep push-ups where I'm going to work the back of the arm and not so much the pectoral muscles. So you want to keep your back straight, okay, and then bend your arms, go down, touch your chest if possible, and then back up. I recommend about 10 of those. If you choose to do pectoral push-ups, you want to put your hands in front of you and angle your fingers towards the center. Okay? And what that does is going to push your elbows out away from you, and you're going to work your chest muscles like this. Right? So that is pretty much it for the warm-up exercises at this school. And I hope you learned something from it. I hope it will help you enjoy martial arts more and not be so sore after a workout if by warming up a little bit better before you start. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.